Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites and hopefully add all kinds of awesome games to your backlog or your wish list or your now playing list or you know what, whatever you're doing out there. Whatever it is you're doing, we're going to add to it, okay? That's what we try to do every single time. And you know what? Typically, we do a pretty good job of it, especially if you like roguelikes and roguelites. And if you're here, you know what I'm willing to bet? You probably do. Glad you're here out with us. And speaking of roguelites, I am back with more Halls of Torment. When I tell you that this game has had an absolute stranglehold on my now playing list, I'm not kidding. I've been coming back to this game, and then coming back again, and then coming back again. There's one other game that I have been playing around with and trying to get better at prior to showing it off to all of you. And we'll talk about that one as well. And that game kind of goes along with the other topic that I had in mind, which is everybody's favorite thing to do, packing. My goodness. Do you enjoy packing? Does anybody enjoy packing up stuff? I don't know too many people that do. So we're going to talk about that today. And hopefully we're going to have a good run here. Now, I know I promised that we would show off the Shield Maiden. We still are going to. I'll tell you what, this area that we're in is really difficult. And I wanted to have the best chance we possibly could at a win in this run. And I have built up a strong like for the Exterminator. Not only because it's a plague doctor, but also because we've got a damn flamethrower. We can do damage over time right off the bat. It's easy for that one to become my favorite. So anyway. Yeah, you know, I have talked about the family vacay that I'm going to be leaving for shortly. We're still time traveling here. I'm still recording content in advance, and we're getting closer to the time to leave. And so, you know, you got to pack everything up. And I hate packing. Now, you know, I've gotten better at packing over the years. It's still not a strength of mine by any stretch of the imagination, but I've gotten better at it. I actually keep a list on my phone. The Android phones of the world have an app called Keep, and you can create lists and all kinds of stuff. And I've just put together a list called Go Bag, and I just go down the list and make sure I have everything. And you know what happens depending on what I'm doing. You know, I'll be sitting here like right now playing a game or doing something that's not packing, and you go, oh god, forgot to add that. You know, and then you're either putting something else on your list or just stopping what you're doing in the moment and going and putting more stuff in. But I bet there's some real packing experts out there. You know, folks that are so much better at doing this than I am. Maybe there's somebody out there somewhere that enjoys packing stuff. I have yet to meet that person. I will say that at least it's the fun type of packing because, you know, there's something fun behind it. And it's not like we're packing up the whole house for moving type packing. That is probably the worst type of pack. I think most of us could agree, right? When you're having to move, that's probably the worst type of packing that can be done. Now I'm going to admit something to you. I have talked about all of my wife's superpowers in the past. If you've hung out here before, you know that my wife is the one that is responsible for holding the tools. I know my limitations. No problem admitting my my shortcomings. I am not the tool holder. I am the holder of stuff. You know, show me where to hold while you're using the tool, or, you know, screwing the screw in, or, you know, what have you. You know what I'm getting at. So, with this process, I have gathered up all of my things, and my wife is the one that arranges them. She is the one that does gigantic suitcase Tetris. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm fine with that. I'm comfortable with it. I'm good with it. Now, she did make some empty threats that, you know, if she sees anything in there that does not need to come along, in her opinion, that it might be pulled. But again, I'm going to tell you here, right here, right now, today, that's an empty threat. That won't happen. I hope that doesn't happen, because I'm not double checking. So, you know, I'll know when I get there if all my stuff made it. I'm sure everything will be there and everything will be fine, and these are the lies we tell ourselves. No, I don't anticipate her to do that. But one of my wife's additional secret powers is her packing capabilities, whether it be the back of a trunk, you know, where I'm trying to shove all kinds of things into the car, or anything for that matter. She's very good at Tetris. It's life Tetris, I should say. Actual, physical, real life Tetris. And she managed to get it all that fit. You know, stuff from 4 different people. So, it's great. And we've got some extended family that is going to be coming with us, and there will be plenty of room for their stuff in the vehicle as well. Good times. Good times. We're going to keep angling towards this scroll, by the way. And I think we're going to go movement speed again. That's going to be important. And I don't want to neglect that and then get too far along and realize that, my goodness, we're slow, you know, because at some point it's too late to fix it. Let's go with another buff to crit damage. And go with that. Speaking of buffs, I have put in a lot of points to the meta progression fire damage. And so I've been looking forward to jumping back in with the exterminator. I think we're doing pretty good so far. Yeah, that guy's melting pretty well. Now let's grab this, and I think we're gonna go Phantom Needles. Get another nice little projectile weapon going here. And let's go with another buff to crit. Looks like we took the horseman down. And there's a drop up there that we're going to grab. I'm going to be able to take this guy out rather quick. Wow. Tremendous. Okay. When retrieved and bought, allows the cupbearer to increase the amount of available strong wine. So the cupbearer is one of the newer NPCs that was opened up in the hub area. Spike boots. When hit, drop 10 spikes to the ground that deal 100 damage and stun the enemy on contact. We may do that on killing a boss or elite. Activate some health regen. Yeah, let's go with the spike boots. Why not? Alright, we're going to start heading down the other direction here so that we can angle a little bit towards the scroll down there. And as we're doing that, we're gonna take out this gargoyle too. Wow, it's going down fast. I've played this area one other time, and that took a while. Because we've got all the buffs to fire damage, we're gonna go Dragon's Breath. And I'm gonna do this 10% movement speed. That's pretty substantial. Lots of fire happening. This is great. So we talked about packing, and I mentioned how that's going to bleed nicely into talking a little bit about one of the other games that I've been playing that I haven't shown on the channel yet, but I do intend to. It's a game called Backpack Hero. And I was so happy to get the opportunity to play this game. The dev offered me a copy to try the game out. This is a game that is currently available in early access on Steam, and it's been a joy to play. I've done, probably about 4 runs at this point, and by the 3rd run, I started feeling very comfortable with some of the design of the game and the overall flow and some of the strategy that you want to go for, because what's interesting about the game is that there's a lot of different approaches that you could take with your builds. And come to think of it, there are multiple character classes that you can choose from. And I still have only played as the one character class, so I think, even beyond what I think I know, there's a lot more to know about the game. It's quite deep. So if you haven't seen this one yet, a lot of you probably have, but if you haven't seen this one yet, the way I would describe it for you is that it is a cross between Slay the Spire and Tetris. Now again, if you haven't seen this, you're probably hearing that and going, what are you talking about? I know, it's an interesting mix. When retrieved and bought, allows the cupbearer to increase the amount of available reverberant tinctures. Okay, interesting. So we have to bring those to the well, I think, so that we have the opportunity to give them to the cupbearer and they can be bought and retrieved. So you're in a dungeon, and you can choose your path along the way of the dungeon somewhat. Oh, hey, look at this. What happened over there? Must have been one of those gold guys. Perfect. We'll take it. And as you go along and you're fighting enemies, you get experience and you're leveling up and finding new items along the way. And when you start out, your backpack is very small in size. You can only fit, so many items in there. But what happens is, over time, you're going to level up and add additional space to your backpack. You can fit more items, you can fit bigger, juicier weapons, and you can create all of these interesting combinations that start to emerge. Some of the items are going to say, hey, if you put me at the bottom, for every space on top of me, you're going to get another one of these. Another buff to one of the stats, for instance. Or, hey, if you put me next to a weapon, I'm going to make the weapon slightly better. Or XYZ is going to be buffed, etc., etc. A lot of different things. So it is extremely interesting, and it is, at the same time, very complex, if you want it to be. Could you play this game casually and still have a good time? Yeah, I think so. Could you begin to lose your mind with all the min-maxing? Yeah, I think so. I probably like to take an approach that's in between somewhere. Some kind of happy medium. But I'm becoming more and more comfortable with it, and I had a run where I thought, oh my goodness, I'm overpowered. I'm totally overpowered. And for a while, that was the case. Now, eventually, I ran into a boss encounter where it didn't even occur to me what was going on right away. Plus 30% area elemental. Trait applies to main weapon and abilities that have an element. That's interesting. Let's do that. It didn't even occur to me right away that the run was going to go straight into the ground until midway through, when it was too late. But now, having gone through that process, I would better be able to spot it. So it's one of those games. You need to play it a handful of times and build up that comfort level with it. Just like in Slay, I think that's true. A lot of different cards to get familiar with. And this one, it's getting familiar with the items. It's kind of figuring out how best to build out your backpack. And I've kind of changed up my approach in doing that over, the course of doing a few runs and seeing, how various things play out when they're placed in certain positions. When you level up, you can choose which boxes you're going to open up and which direction you're going to expand out in. And do you want to expand from an angle? Do you want to expand horizontally or vertically? Once you play and get a feel for some of the items you're going to find along the way, you get a better feel for, how you might want to approach that. This is a really long way of saying I like the game quite a bit. Great way to start the day with a coffee. This is not action-oriented. This is turn-based, and so you can take your time with it. You can ease into it. You can sit there and ponder. And that can be kind of peaceful. Hey, any excuse to have a cup of coffee with a video game, I take it. I jump at it. All right, we are at the 14.5-minute marker, and I think things are looking pretty okay here. I do want to start angling toward that scroll a little bit more aggressively. So we're going to stop with this circular motion we're doing to collect the gems, and I'm going to go more head-on towards that ability at this point. There will be time for gems. We lapped them. Sometimes that happens. It's a good way of being able to tell that we've got enough speed. When you're lapping the elite and they pop up on the other side of the screen, you're fast enough. All right, we got something over there. That's one of those bottle ingredients. I don't think we're going to make our way back to that anytime soon. It's a little bit covered up at this point. Oh my. Who is shooting the projectiles? Is that the guy that we were fighting? All right, you know what? I am actually going to go base health. So maybe that'll help. Yeah, it is that guy. Okay. Oop. All right, you know what? Let's just leave him there, and we'll take him down. Perfect. Plus 10% base crit chance. Transforms the damage type of your main weapon into fire. Well, it already is. We don't have any summons yet, so I'm going to go with the plus 10% crit chance. And I think we are getting close. Here we go. Okay. Adds 2 projectiles per cycle. Additional blades deal magic damage and can apply fragile. Perfect. Oh, that fire damage is fantastic. We'll keep buffing the fire capabilities for sure. Dragon's Breath, and our main weapon. So that's doing us quite a bit of good right now. Look at that, just mopping them up. Alright, we'll go ring blades again here, especially since they've been evolved. 11:49 to go. Oh, jeez. All right. You know what? Maybe we can take this guy out fast before another big group shows up. That would be great if that worked out. These guys are closing in. Okay. Let's go additional attacks. Sometimes that results in additional projectiles. Hey, perfect. Look at that. I'm thinking Radiant Aura. Why not have another skill that could potentially do some crit damage for us? That looks good. Level 56 with around 11 minutes to go. I'm really happy about that. I think the Exterminator is going to end up being a pretty good choice for this area. I'll continue buffing the ring blades. In addition to the fire. Now, I don't think I mentioned this when I was talking about Backpack Hero. Some of you know that I'm in a whole family of gamers. My retired dad is a gamer. In fact, he's been sending me text messages about Dante's Inferno lately. He's finished Resident Evil Village 5 or 6 times, and he's finally had enough of that game. And he decided, hey, what's something else? And so, you know, he's looking around on Game Pass, and he comes up on this Dante's Inferno, and it was one of the ones that I told him to play in the past. I knew he would like it. This game's blowing him away. My mom is a big gamer too, and I got her addicted to Slay the Spire. She played that game every single day for, a good year and a half on her iPad. Loves it. And just recently, she got the big win, the big W, the real ending. One that's hard to achieve. And so I recently bought her a copy of both Wild Frost, which is a fun deck builder, which I haven't gotten to yet. I bought her a copy of Backpack Hero, and she's been playing that game longer than I have. And I think that's funny. So I was texting her today saying, you know, I think I've finally started to, you know, get the hang of this a little bit. I'm feeling more and more comfortable with it. And she was saying, yeah, you know, it's a fun game, but it definitely brings a challenge. All right, let's grab whatever this is. There we go. Oh, it's like a free upgrade? Interesting. We'll go with that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's a Hydra. We've got a shield, so we're going to sit here and pound this Hydra down while we can. Shield's gone. Can't live loosey-goosey anymore, but it was fun while it lasted. Did some decent damage to it, it appears. Now let's do range and area for the breath. You know, these guys are really starting to get in the way, I gotta say. They remind me of the ghosts in Mario. For obvious reasons. The booze. I had to think about that for a second. The booze in Mario. My daughter and I recently went back to Super Mario 3D World. We never finished that one on the Switch. We picked it up for a road trip back in 2020 and put some time into it. Just never finished it. I think that's the one. It's the one they ported over to the Switch. Oh boy, that doesn't look so good, does it? Feeling a little closed in? Me too. Let's go with this. Alright, we should be able to take this guy out rather quickly. Oh, wonderful. Okay, Kugel Blitz. Fires a slowly moving ball of electricity towards a random enemy. The ball emits an electric shockwave. That sounds great. Oh, I'm super happy with that choice. Oh, look at this. All right, let's take this guy out quickly if we can. You see what I mean? This is a tough area. Dragon's Breath knocks back enemies. Phantom Split. Critical hits split needles into 2 projectiles. Both new needles are as strong as the original needle. Increases the base damage by 15. Let's do that. We do get a lot of crits, so we should be able to take advantage of that quite a bit. And I'm going to put this in defense. Boy, these guys are almost collecting around the Hydra, making it very hard to get close and get in there and do some damage. It's a little bit of a problem right now. Alright, I'm gonna try to get up here. There we go. Alright, if we just hang out over here for a little bit, that should do it. And we're at 313 vitality. I'm going to put this in some regen again, because I think we're going to need it if we survive this fight. Holy cow. Hey, we took him down. Alright. Alright, and we will go and grab that momentarily. Just waiting for it to clear up a little bit. I'm gonna put it in regen. Holy cow. We are just closed in, and you know what? I can't even get over there anymore. Those guys are in the way. Alright, we're gonna have to burn through them if we can survive here. I do have one revival. opened up that capability in the meta progression. And it looks like this might... Whoa. This might be our opportunity. Maybe. Holy cats. Level 74. Let's go defense again. Got 2 minutes left. I don't know if we're going to be able to get back there to get that drop. My guess is it's just out of reach. Yeah, I don't think these guys can be killed. I mean, they're taking damage, but they're not dropping. All right, let's go frequency on the Kugelblitz. Uh-oh. This game can be an exercise in patience. 9% burn chance. I think we're good on that. We'll go health. We lose it as fast as we get it. Oh, these bats are just everywhere. Okay, we're gonna go with the revival. We got 50 seconds. Oh boy. Oh, we're gonna have to go the other direction. Holy cow. 30 seconds. I'm not sweating this, you are. No, I am. I'm feeling it. "17 seconds, plus 3 base damage." Yeah, I guess we go base damage on the Kugelblitz, right? Just inching my way along here. Holy cow. All right. See green hands. You know I'm gonna angle towards that treasure chest. It's never too late, damn it. All the while we're... Oh, gosh, okay. Oh, wow. What I was going to say is all the while we're regenerating health, so I don't care how long it takes. I think we're already getting kind of close to it. Here it is, right here. Perfect. Okay. Every 5 seconds, you perform a war cry, which weakens enemies in its range for 5 seconds, adding 3 stacks of fragile to them. Thing is, I don't know if it affects the boss. Every 5 seconds, you summon an imp to fight by your side. They will be gone after a set time, which can be extended, can handle 5 summons at a time. Yes. I like that that is a ring made of teeth and gums. Hey, at least we made it to the boss, right? You know, if we keep moving in this direction, there's probably a ton of gems all over the place. It's because we were forced to go that other way for so long. Gosh, this dude's got a lot of health. You get to a point in the game during the 30-minute period where you're like, you know, I feel pretty good about the damage that I'm doing. I feel like I'm melting all of them. I don't know that I need to add more damage. I don't know that I need to add more crit chance. And then you get to these bosses and you go, oh my god, it's not enough. I suppose that adds to the challenge, right? I like it. I like it. I'm feeling pretty good about this boss fight now. We got him trapped in a good pattern, or I don't know. This is going okay. We're gonna try to stick to this. I think we're gonna get it. So, you know, when you fight this boss, just come down here to this part of the screen, dodge left to right, and keep a good distance on him. That's all you gotta do. And watch out for those crazy hands. We are getting there. We're getting there. I'm not planning on a second form. Outstanding. Lord of Despair, down. That was epic. Trained exterminator. Got the Hydra. Inferno, Firestarter, Viaduct Survivor. Beat it for the first time. Ooh. New class. All right. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us. Let's do this again sometime out on the Goat Force Gaming channel. We'll play a roguelike or a roguelite because that's what we do every time, and we'll give away a video game at least once a week. Thanks so much for your support. We'll see you next time out there.